SocialEdge interviews social entrepreneurs who tackle some of the world's biggest problems. They are pioneers of innovation that benefit humanity.
My name is Nadaa Taiyab. I was based in Bombay working for Medicine Shop India. Medicine Shop is an international chain of pharmacies, and I was helping them set up their new chain of health clinics aimed at the urban poor. Now, when I got there, the project was just getting started, and so my role was to be the project head, to drive forward implementation and create a concept that would work. So let me tell you a little story about what happened to me. When I first got there, we were 2 weeks away from opening the first clinic, and after much stress and preparation, well, it was opened. And the opening day was a great success. We had over 25 people that all came from the slums to see the doctor, and everyone was ecstatic. But then after a few weeks we discovered that nobody was coming back to the clinic. And so my job was to figure out why. So the first thing I did was to change our marketing strategies. Together with an experienced social worker, we created a community outreach marketing program where we employed local women to go door to door marketing the services of the clinic. And the second thing that we did was to change the look and feel of the clinic, because we discovered that it was just too fancy, and so much so that it was scaring off the customers. The third thing I did was to convince the site selection team that they had to actually locate the clinics right in slums and low-income areas, because what we had done in the first couple of clinics was to put them in the most affluent pocket of a particular neighborhood that maybe had a half-kilometer away, and expected that to work, but it didn't. So in the meantime, we were also continuously opening up new clinics so that we could get a sense of how the model worked in different areas. And by the time I left, we had 8 clinics up and running, each of them staffed with a doctor and with a solid set of standard operating procedures in place and a set of metrics to figure out how we were doing and what we had and how much further we had to go. What I would do differently the next time around is I really would have pushed back a bit on implementation and done more market research right from the outset. In particular, talking to NGOs and others that have decades of experience serving the poor in the area of healthcare. So while on the one hand you don't want to get so caught up in market research that you don't get anything done, if you did what we did, which was just go and open clinics and learn as we went along, we were able to fix our mistakes in the process, but we could have avoided a lot of the early mistakes, in particular to do with the design of the clinic, or even we would have helped us think through better our pricing model and our marketing strategies if we had really slowed down a bit in the beginning and taken that time to really understand the customer. Well, I'll actually give you 3 things, 3 incidents that happened that made me feel incredibly proud. The first was when we had the second grand opening of our clinic and over 500 people came, thanks to the community marketing techniques that we had developed and were experimenting with. It was also the day that the whole board of the Acumen Fund came to visit the clinic, and it really was a victory for the entire Medicine Shop team. The second instance was many months later, just before I was about to leave, and I had a big meeting with all the doctors, the health workers, all the operations people, and senior management, and realized that the SocialEdge team had grown to over 35 people in the span of about 8 months. But I think that the biggest contribution I made to the organization was to get not only the project but also the thought process started in how do we take a concept, the medicine shop pharmacy, that is really designed for the top of the pyramid and adapt it to the bottom of the pyramid and attach on the SocialEdge health clinic to provide high quality primary health care to the urban poor. And getting management at all levels to really shift their mindset that they had to think about these customers differently and understand their preferences was really the biggest contribution that I made to the organization.
SocialEdge is also on SocialEdge at socialedge.org.